What's going on, guys? KW Stout, healthmindpower.com. In this video, I'm going to talk about your gym environment and why it matters and why that's one of the most important considerations to make when you're choosing a gym. Okay, so just to give you a little background, I've been lifting weights since high school. I've worked out in everything from school gyms to hotel gyms to, gyms all over the world, really. Hardcore gyms, chain gyms, everything. Okay, and I can tell you that one of the most important things is, okay, there are lots of important things. So, obviously, because the best gym environment in the world might be extremely inconvenient for you to go to if it's a terrible location. So, obviously, you have to make the normal considerations like the location, the size of the gym, which, because if it gets too crowded, it can be annoying. It's not very fun to work out in. The overall cleanliness, I mean, I'm not a huge stickler about that, but it's just like, well, it's not so much about that they have an employee running around wiping things down every 5 minutes. It's more about, do people actually rack their weights? Do they just leave everything thrown all over the place? Which again, kind of goes more towards the gym environment, the type of people. But then you have the things like your equipment selection and all the amenities. So if you go to a big chain gym, you're gonna have way more cardio machines. You're gonna have you may have an indoor basketball court. You might have an indoor swimming pool, a sauna. Those things are pretty cool. You might have a smoothie bar, or one thing that I actually it's kind of gimmicky, but one thing I enjoy with Gold's gyms, they have something called the cardio cinema, which is where it was basically just a little kind of like a normal, like a small theater, except it had cardio machines in there. And since cardio is pretty boring, well, cardio at least on a machine is pretty boring compared to doing it out in the real world. It's an easy way to make 30 minutes or an hour go by, as long as the movie they had playing was somewhat interesting. So, and then of course you have to consider the staff. When you're visiting, I mean, not to bash Gold's Gym, but I was a member of their gym for years, and I've worked out at many of their locations, and I was a regular member from where I lived at probably, let's see, four or five different locations. I've been where I actually lived there, and I was a regular member, and I can remember out of all the employees I've interacted with, out of all those different Gold's gyms, and the ones where I was going there all the time, not just the ones I visited one or two times, there are only two employees. I remember both of them. I can picture both of them. In fact, I remember one of their name. I forgot the one of them was a guy, one was a girl. I forgot the girl's name. They were the only competent employees I ever met at Gold's Gym, including managers and everything. And these two people weren't managers. I never met a competent manager at Gold's Gym ever. In fact, my membership wasn't even my real name, because when they signed me up, the guy who signed me up wrote down the wrong name because we were talking about someone else, and he wrote down the first name of that person. So just to give you an idea. But anyways, I want to talk about why the gym environment matters, why it's important. And you've probably heard this if you watch a lot of YouTube videos. You probably noticed that a lot of the fitness YouTubers, they work out at gyms, they look way cooler than your average chain gym. There's not your average Gold's or LA Fitness, although a lot of people do work out in those too. And there's a reason why you see a lot of these people working out at these non-commercial gyms, or a lot of the hardcore gyms like Metroflex. There's a couple of Metroflex gyms, or the Iron Addicts gyms. These are well-known kind of gyms that have that more hardcore mentality. And I think the first reason why it's so important to choose a gym with the right gym environment is because as humans, we naturally adapt to our surroundings. That's just something we do, something we do without thinking. And what you'll find is that when you work out at these commercial gyms, and I'm not even going to get into, something like Planet Fitness, because obviously that's just a joke. But, when you're working out at, let's say like a Gold's or LA Fitness or whatever, people are just not quite as focused and dedicated. The majority of people there don't even look like they really take fitness very seriously or anything, which is fine because a lot of people are, you got to start from somewhere. But you're discouraged from dropping weights or being loud or using chalk and things like that. And I'm not saying that I think it's cool to just be grunting and yelling the whole time and slamming everything around, because obviously that's pretty douchey. But at the same time, it's like, I mean, on your final deadlift, doesn't it just feel good to drop that heavy weight on the ground? It's not doing any damage. And if you can't use chalk, then that gym just doesn't care about you doing any kind of serious lifting if you can't use chalk. Chalk is so important for grip, and it's so common. Every good gym has chalk, and they encourage you to use it. So, but the other thing is, look, I'm not saying you should just be like grunting and yelling in every set, but I mean, come on, if you're lifting really heavy or you're really pushing yourself, you shouldn't feel uncomfortable for making a little noise or for making any kind of sound of struggle. You shouldn't feel uncomfortable or feel like you have to hold back because everyone's going to stare at you. And that's kind of the vibe you get whenever you're at one of these commercial gyms. Everyone, it's just a lot more quiet. They're playing just pop hits on the radio. It's turned down, and they've got the AC on, so you can't even really. It's just hard to even get warmed up, and it's just, you don't see other people lifting hard. There's no encouragement for you to train hard, and I just think it's just not near as fun. I mean, I worked out at the Gold's Gym for years. Obviously, I just went through all that, and it's not like, I'm not saying you can't get results or that it's so terrible, because I did. I mean, I signed up for a reason, but the main thing why I signed up is because I needed the gym, because I was traveling a lot in my previous career, and I needed a gym that I could go to no matter where I was, and they were, for all the places I was traveling, they were always around. So, and the thing is, they really weren't that bad. I mean, and there were plenty of great people and plenty of nice people, plenty of people there who are serious about training and everything, but it's just not quite the same. It's not quite the same as being at a more legit gym. The other thing is, okay, so your gym environment, the gym equipment is going to reflect the gym environment and vice versa. So a lot of the chain gyms, yeah, they have really nice new equipment, but they don't necessarily have the best equipment. It's like they've got rows and rows of cardio machines, but most of them aren't even cardio machines that are useful. I mean, the majority of them are ellipticals, which does nothing. That's literally the biggest waste of time you could do in the gym, is get on the elliptical machine, where if you just if you just grab the little handle on the elliptical machine and push it and watch, it'll just go back and forth, back and forth. What do you think's happening when you're standing on it? You're not doing any of that. It's just moving for you. But anyways, but what you'll notice is that better gyms have better lifting equipment. They invest more into their weights and into their barbells and into their benches, and less into all the machines that aren't really that important anyways, or aren't really as useful. And I used to not really think much of it, and I thought, I had certain preferences, of course, for certain types of dumbbells and everything, but then that's just because I honestly hadn't really been exposed to better equipment until I got to a gym where they had real deadlift bars as opposed to just using a normal barbell to deadlift. And you notice actually the Ohio deadlift bar, which is the one that everyone knows from Rogue. The first time you use it, it actually is noticeably better. For one thing, the grip is a little different. It's a little bit wider. Okay, so if you're doing sumo and you're like me and you're tall, that gives you more room to spread your feet out without risking the weights slamming down on your toes. And then the other thing is that the bar has more bend to it, so it bends a little more. It's a little more flexibility, which helps you kind of pull yourself into position when you're first getting down into the deadlift position. Now, I think some people will see this as a negative thing, but I personally like it way better. Plus, it looks cooler too. So Now, the other thing, and this is probably the biggest thing, because the equipment is great, but you can make do. You can make do with average equipment. But really what it matters more is the intensity, So my first experience in the gym was when I was in high school and I started lifting weights, and I took a weightlifting class, and the gym we used was an old gym that didn't get used by any of the athletes anymore. So our at my particular school, our football team was the team that always won the championship almost every year, and we had this big state of the art facility for them to train in and everything. But the weightlifting class, we didn't get to use that. We got to use the old one. So we had all these old rusty plates. It kind of smelled like an old sweaty garage, and there were benches had duct tape on them and stuff. But we had all the stuff we needed. We had plenty of things to choose from. But what was the best thing about it was the environment, the people. Everyone was, not everyone, but there was a core group of us that were dedicated and we were serious about it. And it would get pretty intense, and that was what was a lot of fun, because we were all pushing each other, challenging each other to do more, and always encouraging each other. And it's just a lot more fun whenever you have people there who are intense and they want to push beyond what they've done in the past, because that encourages you to do the same thing, and that's how you get stronger, and that's how you get better results and quicker results. And what you'll find is that in the majority of gyms, in these commercial gyms, it's just not like that. People, which again, not to say they're not getting results or anything, it's just that people are just a lot more laid back about it, which is fine. That's why they go there. It's because they don't want an intense environment. But the intense environment is just so much better. It really is. And it might seem a little intimidating at first if you're new to lifting, but what you'll find is that, in my experience, the gyms with these intense environments, that people are way more supportive of you than the people in these commercial gyms. People in the commercial gyms are the people who are more likely to stare and give weird glances and kind of whisper things about you or whatever. But in the more intense environment type of gym, as long as it looks like you're really putting in some effort and you're trying and you kind of you're putting, as long as you're really, that's really all it is. If you're making a genuine effort, then people respect you for that, and even if you don't quite know what you're doing, but it kind of seems like at least you're on the right track, at least you're trying to learn the right methods, and then you would be surprised, but you would get way more encouragement and support in those environments. Even though people seem mean, they only seem mean because they're just super into it and they're just serious about the results. They're not that serious all the time, It's actually, people are having a lot of fun. And that kind of goes to the final thing of what I think is very important for a gym environment, and there has to be a positive vibe. You have to get good energy from people, because the thing is, with some of these gyms, some of these more powerlifting gyms, or more, I guess hardcore gyms as they're called, there are some that do attract a huge crowd of just douchebags, and people are just completely just over the top egos, just constantly comparing themselves to everyone else and constantly feeling insecure anytime someone's lifting more and they have to constantly prove themselves. That's not a fun environment to be in at all. It's just honestly, I would say that the majority of these gyms aren't that way, but I have seen plenty of them, and it's a common thing. So one thing you really want to look out for, and you can kind of get a vibe for whenever you do the tour, try to go during a busy time and just listen to what people are saying, and kind of take a look around to see how people are interacting with each other. And not only that, but check out their social media and see if if they have an active page where people are encouraging each other and everything. Because if you're not getting a positive vibe from the gym, it's not going to be near as much fun, and for a lot of people, you're not going to get as good of results. Okay. So unless that's just a type of environment that really fuels you, and you just want to go in and compare dicks with everyone else too, then maybe that would be best. But for most people, it's not going to be near as fun. They're going to get way better results, and they're going to enjoy the gym much more when they're in there and they're in an environment where people are encouraging each other and it's a positive attitude. And whenever you hit a new PR, or if someone else hits a new PR, other people are genuinely happy for you. Okay, so like for example, at the gym I go to now is called Obtain Strength, which was founded by Michael Corey, who's a well-known fitness YouTuber. I think because of, he is a very positive person, and his content attracts those kind of people, more positive, laid back, just easygoing type of people who, and that is pretty much how everyone that I've interacted with at the gym is. And it's the type of environment where, let's say, because there's some strong lifters there, okay? So, for example, like there's a guy who's squatting over 600 pounds, okay? So, like this is this is a long ways from gold, so let me tell you. And, but the thing is, it's a type of environment where if someone is in there and they are so much stronger than everyone else, you don't see the jealousy and the backhanded compliments and everything. You see genuine support for that person. It's like, who cares that he's stronger than you? It's more about, this is not the type of environment where people are comparing each other to each other, and it's where people truly are, they have that mindset of comparing yourself to your previous self and just wanting to see other people do well and succeed. So anyways, that pretty much sums it up for the 4 things that I think are very important for a gym environment and the type of things you want to look for. And I know, again, I've kind of talked about this before, but it's just something that I want to throw out there because I see this all the time. A lot of people are just so uncomfortable. They think you need to already be in shape or you already need to be strong to start working out at these gyms. And the thing is, I know it's true because I used to think the same thing. So for years, I avoided going. I actually wanted to work out in one of these hardcore gyms, When I was living down in Texas, at one point I was living pretty close, I was pretty close to Metroflex Plano, not the other Metroflex. That would have just been too inconvenient to do. But, and I wanted to go there, but then I thought, not quite strong enough. I need to get a little stronger, then I'll go there, And anyways, then I moved back here. I decided, you know what? I'm just going to jump into one of these kind of gyms like this because I've always been wanting to do it anyways. And the thing is, I got more results so much faster since doing that it's just crazy. This is why I'm trying to encourage you that if you are interested, if you're really serious about this and you really want to get into this environment and a better gym environment, and you really want to get into this whole fitness culture and be around people who are not just there to kind of check it off their list, but they're actually into this. This is a lifestyle for them. You're going to get way more people like that at these types of gyms, and you don't need to be in great shape or be really strong to get started. In fact, again, at the gym I go to, I would say, compared to other gyms, on average, people are in better shape on average, yes. But there are plenty of beginners, plenty of people who are overweight, plenty of, people who are really weak. And you know what? I've never once seen a single incident of someone putting someone down or being discouraging to anyone or anything like that, or even saying anything like making fun of them behind their back when they knew the person would never find out, And again, I just want to reiterate that these environments, they might look like they're just different than how they look, When you see them, you see these guys, you see these big strong guys who are just like, screaming and look like they're roided out of their minds, and you think that they're just gonna, that it's just, the most serious thing in the world, and if you're not there pushing 4 or 5 plates on everything, then you just better get out. It's not like that at all. So anyways, that wraps it up for this video. Be sure to give this video a like if you liked it, leave a comment below, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.